if you check the specification for DataURL, you will find that it is possible to um, get a very long URI, a very long text string that actually represents the content of a specific file. Let's imagine that we develop a simple HTML page, and that simple HTML page um, include, let's say, simple title, some text, and it also includes an IMG element for displaying an image. Well, one option is placing the IMG element together with the SRC attribute and assign the URI for the file that holds the image data. So let's say that we have a file, this file, the logo of YouTube, and we have it in the same folder where we have the demo.html file. In that case, we can just point at that file, and the outcome will be a simple HTML file that has some text, a title, and it displays an image. Now if we check the outcome, this is what we get. Now if you check using the developer tools how many HTTP requests we have, you will find that we have two HTTP requests. One is for the demo.html file, and then when the web browser goes over the code and arrive and reach the IMG element, then there is the second HTTP request for getting the image file, the logo of YouTube. So we actually have two HTTP requests. Using the DataURLs spec, we can actually minimize the number of HTTP requests, and we can do it by replacing the value of SRC. Instead of placing the URI address for the image file, we can create, as in the case with this, with the help of DataURL.net file, we can create a very long string that represents, let's load this image, that represents the content of that specific image file. So we can just take this text, this string, and just place it as the value of the attribute SRC. So indeed we get a file, an HTML file that is a bit more difficult to review, to understand, to maintain, maybe, but on the other hand, now when we check the demo.html file, the output is the same, while in terms of number of HTTP requests, as you can see, now we have only one request, the request for demo.html file. What you see over here as a request is not a real HTTP request. As you can see, it took 0 milliseconds to get the data for displaying the image, because now the data of the image, instead of having it in a separated file, is part of the HTML file. So we actually have only one HTTP request, the request for the HTML file itself, and the data for the image, for displaying the image, is already embedded into the HTML file. So we actually we can say that we actually saved one HTTP request, and the result in most cases will be faster loading of the web page.